If you miss this alert, you are risking the single biggest regulatory signal for XRP we've ever seen. Seriously, the entire game has just been flipped on its head.
And here's the twist you won't see coming. Ripple's own CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, just put his entire reputation on the line. He's raised the odds of the Clarity Act passing to a jaw-dropping 90%. This came right after a meeting in Washington that completely reversed what was, just days ago, a totally hostile and combative atmosphere. So, by the end of this breakdown, you're going to understand the three critical forces that are driving this insane shift, and, more importantly, why this could be the exact trigger for a massive short squeeze that could send XRP flying towards $8.50.
All right, let's get right into it. The first key force behind this 90% call is nothing short of a complete 180 in Washington. We are watching a sudden and frankly dramatic shift in the political climate. Something that seemed impossible last week is now being talked about as the most likely outcome. It's wild.
You know, what's really blowing my mind here is just the sheer speed of this reversal. Last week, the meetings between crypto leaders and banking reps, they were described as heated, even terrible. Now this week, suddenly everything is cooperative and highly productive. It's like a brand new path forward just appeared out of what looked like a total dead end. And this quote right here, this says it all. You've got the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, who, remember, had pulled his support for this bill, publicly reversing his entire stance. This is so much bigger than just one company's opinion. This signals a new, unified crypto front, and they are speaking with one powerful voice to the lawmakers.
Now for the second force. And trust me, this is where things get really intense. This isn't just about a change of heart or a friendlier tone. No, this is about a 9-figure ultimatum. We're talking about immense political pressure being applied, and it has a very, very big price tag attached to it.
Yep, you're seeing that number right. $190 million. That is the war chest of a very powerful pro-crypto political action committee. And they've just laid down a cold, hard ultimatum for the politicians in D.C.
So here's the crucial part. They've completely changed their tactics. They're not just going after politicians who vote no anymore. Their new strategy is way more aggressive. They're going to primary and attack any politician who tries to use procedural tricks. We're talking poison pill amendments to intentionally stall this bill. The message is crystal clear. If you try to delay this, we will literally end your career.
Okay, the third and final force isn't coming from inside the country. It's an external threat, a geopolitical pressure play from a global rival, and it's forcing the administration's hand to act, and act fast.
Look, the administration knows it absolutely cannot afford to lose the crypto arms race. Reports are coming out that China is seriously debating a gold-backed stablecoin. That's a direct threat to the US dollar's dominance on the world stage. This creates massive urgency for the US to get the Clarity Act passed and start innovating before it gets left in the dust. These kinds of geopolitical moves happen at lightning speed. To get these critical updates the second they break, I really recommend you join our Crypto Global News Telegram. You can just scan the QR code on your screen, or the link is right down in the description below.
So let's put it all together. You take this new cooperative vibe in D.C., you add the crushing pressure from that $190 million ultimatum, and you combine it all with a geopolitical threat from China. These three massive forces are all converging at the exact same time to create this stunning new prediction.
And this right here is the result. This is why Ripple's CEO feels confident enough to raise the probability of this act passing from 77% all the way up to a staggering 90%. And he's putting a date on it, by the end of April. That is a huge statement of intent. But what do you think? I really want to know. Is he right? Head over to the community post for Crypto Global News and drop a comment. Tell us if you think this 90% prediction is on the money or if it's just a bunch of hype.
Okay, so what does all of this political drama actually mean for the price? This is the most important part of this entire breakdown. How all this maneuvering in D.C. could translate into a massive price explosion for XRP.
Now, before we break down these price targets and explain exactly how a Ripple IPO combined with the Clarity Act could trigger the mother of all short squeezes, I have to be completely direct with you for a second. If you are watching this right now without a subscription, you are missing the alerts. The very next one is called the Markup vote, and believe me, it is coming up fast. Click subscribe right now to stay on the timeline. All right, let's get into this. In the bull case, if the Clarity Act passes, a Ripple IPO is very likely to follow.
Now that would probably force Ripple to sell off a huge chunk of its XRP holdings, which would create a massive supply shock. With way less XRP available, anyone betting against it gets squeezed and is forced to buy back in. That's what could trigger a squeeze, sending the price into that 350 to 850 range. But, and this is important, the charts are key. We absolutely need to see a decisive close above that $1.51 resistance level to confirm the breakout. The bear case? Well, it's simple. If the bill fails, we could see a pretty sharp drop to sub-$1 levels.
So I need you to understand this isn't the end of the story. This is just the setup for the very next immediate market-moving event. You are literally watching history happen in real time as these deals get hammered out behind closed doors. And for all of our viewers in the US, this is an absolutely critical moment to make your voice heard on this legislation.
The markup vote. That is the next flashpoint. This is the critical session where they debate and vote on the final amendments before the bill hits the floor. It's the moment where those poison pill tactics could be used to kill the whole thing. It is the next major hurdle that could send shockwaves through the entire market. And that is our cliffhanger. We are going to be covering the markup vote as it happens, so you do not want to miss that alert. But for now, to really understand the key players who are going to decide the fate of this bill, click the video that's on your screen right now.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.